And this is what people have to understand. A lot of people do something and they will fail at it. First time, second time, third time. And they'll look at it, oh, I failed at this 2-3 times. It's not a fail, it's a lesson. You've understood better third time around than you did first time around. So how can you look at that in a negative?
Love my barbecues, yes? Can't beat it. You know what I mean? Strategy. Gotta let these bad boys cook first, and you put the burgers and that on. Serious. Jeez. You know what I'm doing, yes? McDonald's and Burger King ain't got nothing on us, yes?
So you look at Arsene Wenger's situation, someone that I respect highly for what he's done, not just to Arsenal Football Club, which is my club, but to football in general. He's come into a club and changed the whole culture in the club. Now, some people look at that and say, in recent times, well, he's failed us. How can he fail you? We've gone on to have Premier League wins, FA Cup wins, play in Europe, get to the final of the Champions League. Okay, we may not have lost, but we didn't have it before he came in. We didn't have a brand which was strong. And, you know, this is something I talk about all the time. You've got people that is criticising Arsene Wenger because of what's happened in recent times. What's happened in recent times is a reflection on the good times he's had. You can't grumble about things that happen now, which is negative, if you never had the glory times before that. So what's happened is that Arsene has delivered, and he's, I don't know if it's fair to say overachieved, but he's delivered on such a grand level that because he's gone backwards and he's taken a sidestep, so to speak, in terms of how the team has progressed, people are looking at it as an L. It's never been an L. It's never been a loss. It's been a lesson because the club is run debt-free. We've got a brand new stadium. I mean, how many clubs in the Premier League or how many businesses can say that they're run debt-free? So for me, we have to have a look at what this guy's come and done for our club. 22 years at a club, bringing all that success, all them cup wins, all them, 2 or 3 Premier League trophies. He has been a victim of his own success. And I think sometimes a manager can only do so much. Players also have to take a lot of the blame for it because he goes out there to put the best 11 players on the pitch. And if the players don't play their part, then there's nothing a manager can do. It's almost like you're picking your best team. You pick that best team, all of a sudden the players turn around and say, you know what, I actually don't fancy it today. There's nothing you could do about it. Short of getting on the pitch and putting a kit on and playing yourself, there's nothing you could do about it. So I think, players also have to be accountable. Arsene's legacy is always going to be, for me, remembered as a pioneer, as a trailblazer, and as someone that completely came in and changed English football. Some of us look to other people for validation. Now, my point is this: you can't look to anybody else for validation because it's only you that has that dream. It's only you that have that desire. It's only you that has that will to succeed. It's not anybody else. So you're looking to someone else to give you that validation when that person doesn't share the same dreams or the same desires as you do. So how the hell is that person going to give you that validation that you need? It's going to be impossible. There's a saying, right? It's lonely at the top. And it's lonely at the top because on that journey to the top, you get a lot of people that have the right intentions and they have the right beliefs. I mean, yeah, I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to go and do that. But then on that journey, you will meet a lot of obstacles. You'll meet a lot of hurdles. You'll meet a lot of bumps in the road. And them bumps and them obstacles and that debris in the road will sometimes sway you off your desire and off your path. But it's only the few that will go, you know what, I don't care about what's happened. I don't care about the setback. I'm still going to pursue this goal. I'm still going to pursue this dream. I'm still going to pursue this opportunity. And that's why when people get to the top, it's very, very lonely because there's not a lot of people with that same hunger and that desire that's prepared to sacrifice everything in order to get there. I remember there was a situation that I personally was involved in where I saw a player plan for non-league in a non-league team, and I knew by watching this player that he was going to have the ability and the potential because he had all the attributes. Physically, he was amazing. Mentally, he was fantastic. He understood that he would work harder than anybody else. Okay, because maybe what he lacked physically in terms of technical ability, he would work extremely hard to make up for that, you know. So I knew with all these ingredients, putting him in the right environment with the right type of coaching, this boy will go on. And bearing in mind, this kid was playing non-league football. And I remember having this conversation and I said, you know what, you see that kid there? I believe with the right management and with the right coaching, he can go all the way to the Premier League. And I was laughed at. People said to me, nah, he ain't got the ability. He's not technically good enough. He's not ready. He's not this, he's not that. And I never ever took anything that they said on board because I knew what I saw. I believed in what I saw. I trusted my instincts. I backed myself. And that was the difference. So fast forward 18 months down the line, and that same player that everyone said to me I was crazy for believing in and backing him and trusting myself in him, went on to play in the Premier League. And for me, that was the vindication and the justification that I needed to go on and have in this business, because you got to remember, when you have a vision and you have a goal, not everybody's going to share that same desire. Because what happens is, have you ever been in a situation where you may go and tell your friend, or you may tell your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife that, oh, I'm going to go and do this, and they will turn around and go, oh, well, don't worry about that. That's not for you. And they just go and put a complete downer on the situation. Because what they're doing indirectly, they're imposing their fears onto you. So at that point in time, you either got a choice to go, you know what, I'm going to accept what you're saying and actually run with what you're saying, that I'm not good enough and I'm never going to be anything other than what I'm doing. Or you can turn around and say, you know what, forget this. Forget what you're saying. I don't care what you're saying. You might be my brother, you might be my wife, you might be my sister, you might be this, that and the other to me. But I'm going to go with what I believe. And I'm going to go with what I know. And I'm going to trust myself and my instincts. A lot of people do something and they will fail at it. First time, second time, third time. And they'll look at it, oh, I failed at this 2-3 times. It's not a fail. It's a lesson. You've understood better third time around than you did first time around. So how can you look at that in a negative? So the more you try it, the better you will be, you know? So you can never look at a situation where you've gone into something and it never worked as a fail. You have to look at it as a lesson. And that's the only way you're going to be able to develop as a person and as a professional and as a businessman. And if you go through them stages, what would happen? You'll be able to be mentally a lot more stronger, and you would know exactly what to look for next time it happens. So you can then do what? You could then navigate around that situation and make sure that, oh, listen, you know what? I went through this situation before. I know what's coming. So you can never look at something that's happened to you in your past on your journey to success as a failure. It can never be a failure. It has to be a lesson. And then people have to start understanding and realizing that it's not about failing, it's about lessons. And when you understand that, you will find that you will have the tools in order to go on and be successful.
You sponsored now? You sponsored?
Hi there, sir.
Best team in London.
Oh, Nick, don't start all that.
All those WhatsApps from earlier, they're coming back. All those WhatsApps from earlier.
See a full set back. Give a shout out to Liam. I've got to give a shout out to Lee. The best goalkeeper by far here.
Mate, it's 5 them. Don't get it. It's 5, not
He
3.
scored twice and he got this allowed.
Kevin! Fuck's sake, man, you're just standing there! Mark, don't give me up, Joe! Mark!
You won one game in 3 weeks.
No shot!
Come back. Well done.
No shot!
Come on!
Yeah! Come on! Come on! Are you begging for time? Come on!
One hit wonders, Oranges, mate. One hit wonders. You can't play with the Blues, mate.
But I don't resist.